Chris, it's good to see you. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. Happy it's Friday.
I
It's like the
know.
longest week ever.
It's because we've come back from short weeks, working short weeks, or I did anyway.
No, I know. Crazy.
Yep. Oh, I hope it rains this weekend. We need it.
Me too.
Okay, who is John and Kayla? Is that our presenters?
No, Gina's going to be our presenter.
Okay. Oh, there's Gina. Okay. And I actually, I think I told you I referred somebody to Gina.
Perfect.
Yeah.
She does best.
Yes.
Yeah, hi Haley. I thought my bad. I thought it was 10 o'clock.
That's fine. I was like, I worried for a moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I write 10 o'clock?
Day, what's going on? So
yeah, totally understandable. I know our receptionist called. She's like, you have somebody, Chris, that said you're not in a meeting. I was like, oh no.
She didn't say you have anything on the phone that doesn't know what time it is?
No.
That's what you said.
Like I said, it's been the longest week, so you really made me like panic for a moment.
Sorry about that. I gotta keep you on your toes there, Haley.
Exactly. I wouldn't have it any other way. I see Gina's connecting to audio. And I think I do have it set. So when you log on to the meeting, it will automatically mute you. So if you would like to speak as we kind of dive into our Q&A, just make sure to unmute yourself. I will definitely put out that reminder a couple of times. I know we're all navigating the Zoom world. We've become proficient at it now, right?
We should be experts right now.
We were laughing that the, so-and-so unmute yourself. That's probably the most used phrase in 2020. You're muted, unmute yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Andy, where are you from?
From Sacramento, Davis, California.
What kind of business do you have? Do you have a business?
As a director of operations of a nonprofit agency.
Oh, good.
With disabilities. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And there's Gina.
Hello.
How are you?
I am ridiculously crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy is probably a good word right now.
We were just saying it's like the longest week ever.
Yeah, it was a horrible week. And then I've been answering calls for this, and it's kind of a little bit of a mess. And so the calls have been just nonstop. So I'm just like, yay, but not
yay.
I'm always grateful to be able to help people, but at the same time, it's a really frustrating process right now. So
yeah.
And because of the financial loss that so many people had last year, people are so passionate about this grant and are, really passionate. And you think in a normal time, $5,000 is a lot of money, but for a business, it for operations, it really isn't. But for right now, the fact that people are so upset about $5,000 says a lot about where we're at financially as small business owners. It's just a horrible thing. And people are really upset. And they're like, $5,000 will, keep me from being evicted. I'm like, oh my God, it's horrible. It's really horrible. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a week. How are you guys? How's everything? I bet you're busy.
Good. Yeah, we're busy and staying afloat, trying to navigate the waters as best as possible for sure. So I guess we'll go ahead and kick off. It is 10:31. I just want to thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Haley Reed, and I'm a management analyst with the City of Citrus Heights. And then joining us, we also have Diane Ebbett. She's with the Citrus Heights Chamber. And following today's Q&A, Diane will be making a few announcements regarding our chamber, upcoming events and opportunities. And then leading today, we are so grateful to have Gina Lujan. She's our SBDC partner and also owner of Hacker Labs, right, owner?
Yes.
Perfect. And Gina, you also posted something really exciting on Facebook. Hacker Labs was nominated for SAC Business Journal.
No, we have basically it was the it's definitely a team effort. It was 100 notable business leaders in Sacramento for 2020, which was really awesome. But
That's awesome.
all of my awards, I always say it's like it's our whole team. Like it wouldn't even I'm just the face. They're really the ones doing the magic. I'm so super fortunate to have them. So it's definitely like we got this. We got notable business, and so we're going to celebrate and stuff. So we're really excited about
Good, congratulations, and we're so excited to have you. Kind of at the beginning of the pandemic, Gina led another Q&A for us. Feels like forever ago, but then again, not. So she's kind of become our financial and grant guru. So what I will do is I will pass things over to Gina, and this is kind of open floor. Jump in and ask your questions that you have regarding the newest round of COVID business relief grants. And if you don't feel comfortable speaking, you can always drop your questions into the chat box. I am recording this session just so I can send out a link following, because sometimes you're trying to take notes and just listen. So I will be sending that link out. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. And on that note, I will go ahead and hand it over to Gina.
Hello, everyone. I'm gonna, is it possible I can have like a screen share? We're gonna go
totally
over some stuff. If you're a nonprofit, I'm gonna have people
go ahead.
Contact me via email because there's a different process, not a different process, but a better link for people who are nonprofit. So if you are a nonprofit, the general questions are the same. It's just a different link, and I'm looking for that link and I have to find it. So, but if you can share the screen, and I'll go through kind of the slide of the program, and then we can do like a Q&A after. I'm going to skip the agenda. This is actually was pre-made for our SBDC California. I am an SBDC Finance Advisor. We're a special team. We're the finance team for Northern California. It's led by Scott Rogowski, which is a local director here out of Humboldt. And our team is specifically just for finance. So if you need help with EIDL, PPP, getting loans for your business, locating grants, seeing what CDFIs can do for you, credit issues, operational, things like that, inventory, anything that has to do with finance, you could give us a call. My website is ginalujan.com, and you can book an appointment on there. And I can give you a one-on-one session. It is at no cost. All SBDC services are at no cost to the business owner. This is paid for by your taxes through the Small Business Administration. So I'm here, just think of me as your personal business consultant that you can reach out to at any time. And if for some reason you have some questions that are not about finance, we can actually connect you to SBDC advisors that are completely free. Like we have a really excellent marketing guru who's Shane Barker. He's award-winning, who can help people with social media marketing and all those different things. So we have like a whole, portfolio of really specialized advisors that can help you. And you can email me on my website and I can connect you. All right. So now that that's all over and done with, so again, we're the America's SBDC California. This talk today is about the CA Relief Grant, and that's where you can get more information about it. We have our own special link. I am hoping that it's in here. If not, I will be giving you my contact information. Every organization is getting different links. We found that our SBDC one's working better. I can find it and post it in the chat before we end this call. But about the grant, there's $475 million that's being administered throughout the state of California. There's going to be 2 rounds. One will be 237 and both of them will be 237. The program is not first come, first serve. We don't need to, a lot of people are like trying to like race and get it done. As long as you have your application in before the 13th, you're completely fine. It's going to be based kind of like on a on a scoring card, and we don't really know what that scoring card is. That's completely up to the state of California, and we can't really divulge that information anyways, just for fairness of the application. Grants are available up to $25,000. The revenue must be a minimum of $1,000 and a maximum of 2.5 million. So if you made 1,000 to 100,000, you have a $5,000 grant. If your annual gross revenue is greater than 100,000 up to 1 million, you have a $15,000 grant. And if it's 1,000 to 2.5 million, you have the chance of getting a $25,000 grant. This is a loan. This is not a loan. This is a grant. It's completely free. You don't have to pay it back. And I think that's one of the reasons why people are really trying to get this money, is because that the PPP, a lot of people did get stuck with some of that PPP. They weren't explained in the beginning that the EIDL advance that they got up to $10,000 actually plays against their PPP. So they couldn't get everything forgiven. So it was a little bit of a conundrum for people, like, wow, shocking. I thought I was going to be forgiven for everything, and now they're stuck with like a $10,000 bill. So this is a grant. Small business, I'm sure you guys know what that means. Sole proprietors, independent contractors. There's 1099 workers. If you're an Uber driver, if you're a DoorDash, if you're doing the gig economy, you qualify for this. For-profit entities, including corporations. And no more than 2.5 million. And this will be based on your most recent tax return of 2018 or 2019, because we understand that the 2020s aren't even being done yet. And you have to have a minimum of 1,000. Small nonprofits, so it means registered 501c3 or 501c6, have 2.5 million or less based on the most recent available Form 990 for 2018 or 19, must have an average gross revenue of $1,000. Here's the eligibility requirements. Must meet the definition of small business, active businesses or nonprofits operating since June 1, 2019. So you have to have been in business as of the mid 2019. Businesses must have been impacted by COVID-19 and the safety and health restrictions, such as business interruptions or business closures incurred as a result of COVID-19. Applicants will be required to certify eligibility. So you're going to be signing a document saying that you're certifying that these things are correct and true. Applicants from multiple business entities can only apply for one location. And it's going to be the one with the highest revenue. Business must be able to provide organizing documents and acceptable government ID. Organizing documents. Okay, so a lot of people are asking what those are. It needs to be like a state or a county legal document, whether it is your filing papers that say you're a corporation, your fictitious business name, your tax papers, your tax, Sacramento County has that tax business tax license. You could use that. And then your government ID is, of course, your passport or, your California ID or driver's license. Revenue verification is basically they're asking for your whole tax returns, all 40 something pages. And we'll get into that. People are having a problem uploading because that's such a big document. So just you're going to have to cut that in two and upload it twice because it's not working for a lot of people. Ineligible businesses without a physical location. So if you're, you don't have a physical location, you work at home and you laser cut coasters and you sell them on Etsy, you are not qualified for this loan. For this grant. Nonprofit businesses that are not registered as a 501c3 or C6. Government entities cannot apply unless you're a Native American tribe. Businesses primarily engaged in political or lobbying activities. Passive businesses, investment companies, churches, and other religious institutions. Financial businesses primarily engaged in lending. Affiliated companies, that is affiliated companies kind of, to me, I got the description of like franchise type businesses, but I don't know if that's true. I'm going to look that up for you guys. Businesses engaged in any activity that is illegal under the federal law, that's including like cannabis and cannabis businesses of any kind, that's still considered not approved by the SBA. So if you wanted to apply for like even a CBD company, you couldn't do that with the SBA. Sexual nature businesses, socially undesirable activity that may be considered predatory, businesses that restrict patronage for any reason other than capacity, speculative businesses, businesses on which any of the owner of greater than 10% in equity interest has been convicted of any type of crime and is on parole or probation. All right, eligible use of funds. So a lot of people have been asking these questions, is like, what can I spend my money on? Only those costs incurred during COVID-19. So a pandemic and the health and safety restrictions, such as business interruptions, business closures incurred as a result of the COVID. So payroll expenses, health benefits, paid sick, medical or family leave, insurance premiums, working capital, overhead, including rent, utilities, mortgage, principal, and interest payments, debt payments that incurred after March 1st, 2020. Costs associated with reopening businesses, operations after being fully or partially closed. So like, let's say you had to reopen and you needed to go buy a bunch of heaters, you know, that kind of thing. Or you had to buy the scanner, you know, those costs, putting up the stickers that made people stay 6 feet away, those kinds of things. Costs associated with complying with COVID, same thing. Plexiglass barriers, outdoor dining, any other COVID-19 related expenses not already covered through grants, forgivable loans, or other federal, state, or county. Ineligible uses is human resource expenses for the state of share Medicaid, employee bonuses or severance pay. You can't use it to pay your taxes, legal settlements, settlements, personal expenses or other expenses that aren't related to COVID, and expenses for repairs or damages already covered by insurance, reimbursement to donors for donated items or services. All right, so there'll be 2 rounds on the application, and they'll start approving grant awards after each application round. They said around the 15th or 16th is when they're going to start giving awards. It's a really fast turnaround. You have currently, this is all wrong. All these dates are wrong, and I will get back to you on this. Do you need to apply in each round? No, if you've submitted a complete application, you will actually, if you didn't get picked for the first one, you will move on to the second round. So there's no need to reapply once you've already applied once and you didn't get picked the first round. The applications have been extended until the 13th because there was a huge glitch in the system. The system broke. It was very similar to EDD or Covered California, where there were so many people applying. There was literally tens of thousands of people trying to get on this site. So it broke. So they basically moved it, extended it to the 13th. And again, they'll start making decisions around the 15th or 16th. Application requirements is to complete the app, upload your financial and organizational documents, a copy of your signed certification, which is the agreement, most recent tax return filed, an acceptable form of ID, and evidence that you make more, which is pretty much your tax return. So that should satisfy. There are some people that did not do their taxes, so they may take into consideration like a P&L from a certified CPA or whatnot. I wouldn't recommend that, but I'm guessing that's why they have it twice. They said, they also said this because there are some people that are 1099, that the way their taxes are for like maybe a job and then a business are different. So they may ask for like another proof of gross annual income. So let's say I work at the state, but I'm also an Uber driver at night, and I do that to supplement my income. So on my taxes, it'll show both incomes, and it will show that you're, it's it, but they may require some evidence, like, you send in your end of the year form to show that you actually made this from your Uber. It's kind of.
And Gina, just to jump in real quick, you're not sharing your screen.
I'm not
sorry.
sharing my screen. Oh my
No.
God. Well, that just totally is not good. Okay. So sorry. Well, that was a fail. Okay, here we go. Shall I go back? Do we need to go back? No, okay. All right, application stages, hold on. All right, additional requirements for business to be determined eligible is a copy of your official California Secretary of State corporation. Okay, so this is confusing people because they're like, what does that mean? I'm not a corporation. You can do your government issued business license, or some people have a fictitious business name. Some people have just, it's like the city of Sacramento doesn't give a business license. It says tax. It's like a Sacramento County tax. It's called, I forget the word, it's an acronym. And so that doesn't say business license, but you could use that. For eligible nonprofits, the most recent tax exemption letter, verification of bank account via electronic registration. So this is very confusing because this right here, verification is after you get approved. A lot of people are filling this out now, and it's actually breaking the system. You don't need to verify your bank on the site until you get approved and you're moving forward. I'll get into that in a minute because that's been really confusing and it's been stopping people from the process. Grants will be determined based on location of areas most impacted by COVID. Businesses impacted financially based on gross revenue losses, because they're going to ask you on the form, what was your income in 2020? And then they're going to ask for your tax return. So they're going to kind of look at it, and see what your loss is. And then underserved groups would be women-owned, minority, person of color, veteran-owned businesses, where at least 51% is owned and run on a daily basis by said groups. And then when will you find out? It's actually January 15th. Tips for applying, please use Chrome. Please use Chrome. Don't go in incognito mode. And acceptable email addresses is my company. Let's see, wait a minute. The following email addresses will not be info. So info at my company, contact or no reply, those won't be accepted. Scan your documents properly. That's been an issue. A lot of people don't have a printer with a scanner, believe it or not, that they do not. Not everybody has that. I've been recommending people to use TinyScan. It is an app. It's freaking a lifesaver. I use it for everything. It actually takes photos of your documents and makes them look and turns them into PDFs that are very, very clear. And then you can either, you can email them to yourself, upload them to Google Doc. There's just several ways for them to get to you. So I really love TinyScan. Let's see, unusable, acceptable submissions. This is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Anything that looks like this. And a lot of people are doing this, which is, yeah, like you have to do this PDF. Like you can't just take a picture of your license and then it has like a table, and it's not going to work. You will be notified if you've been approved, and I think they're actually going to notify people if they haven't. What information are you pulling from your bank? It's just to prevent fraud, and they're not going to ask you for that until you've been. And it's also, I think, to do a transaction, and then also to verifies your bank account is active with transactions for 90 to 20 days. The industry and its partners won't have access to your bank login, credentials, username, and password. The technology they use is by Visa. Have a franchise business. No owners with multiple businesses, franchises, locations will be considered only one agent and only can apply for their business with the highest revenue. Let's see. our federal Paycheck Protection Program or economic injury, disaster loans, EIDL loans eligible? Yes. But they can't be used to cover the same expenses. I don't think that will happen because that's totally way long ago and that money's been spent. Are recipients of the county city relief funds eligible to apply? Yes. Do I have to pay taxes on this grant? Yes. I don't own a computer. It's mobile friendly. People are doing it on their phone. People who are doing it on their phone are having a horrible time. I don't believe it's mobile friendly, but it is what it is. I lost physical verification. Screenshots will not work. You have to have copies, and you can do that on the state of California. Do I need to provide receipts for my purchases? No, but they recommend you to retain all your records. Same with PPP and EIDL. You should retain records of what you spent the money on, just in case a few years from now. And I think they're asking for 7 now. Just so even if you keep it on a spreadsheet somewhere, so that they come back and audit you. I'm undocumented. Yes, you can apply. My business is incorporated outside of California. You must have a physical address and operate in California. So you can't be incorporated and then work from home. You have to have a physical business address. Let's see, real estate companies. Yes. Wait a minute. Real estate professionals who practice in Schedule 5C are considered passive companies, and investors who file are not eligible. Real estate, I'm getting different answers on that. So please get back to me on that. Because I've had lenders tell me yes. And then I've obviously this is saying no. Okay. A government issued ID is required. Yes. Passport or ID. Do I have to submit documentation to verify ownership? Yes. Are there revenue thresholds for grant? Yes. And so it goes on. I can keep going through these. Revenue is determined on your gross sales. So your gross sales are going to be used. And you can see this right here. That's how you're going to use to schedule out what it is. I can send this all out to you. I'll send this to Haley and Diane so they have it and they can share it with you. I own multiple businesses. You can only do one. And then this is the grant funding structure. Again, up to 100,000, 5,000, up to 100,000 to 1 million, 15, 1 million to 2.5, 25,000. And yeah, so any questions? I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned 2020 tax returns. So we haven't done our 2020 tax returns as of yet.
Yeah.
So we have the 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we demonstrate? Do we need to demonstrate, first of all, a reduction in income? Is there a requirement that way? And then
so you're self-certifying. So you're going to use your 2018 or 2019 tax returns, but you're going to, in the question form, it's going to ask what was your annual gross income, and you're going to put that on there. And so you're going to fill it out yourself. And then when you're done, you're going to certify that everything you said is correct, because they know that nobody's done their taxes right now. I mean, if you have, you're awesome. I know I haven't. So
does there need to be a reduction in income, 19 over 20, for example?
Yeah, there has to be some type of like reduction. If they see you're doing fine, then they're probably not going to give that person money. They're trying to give people money who they've lost significant income.
Okay.
And Gina, we have one question in the comments. When should you upload documents?
Okay, so this is where everything is broken. Okay, so you should upload documents when the screen asks you to upload documents. So as soon as you upload them and they all turn green, close your window, because it's not going to say complete ever. It's not going to say complete until maybe if you get selected or whatever, or the next steps. And that's where a lot of people are calling in and being very frustrated because it's saying your application is not complete. And the reason they're doing that is because Lendistry says that if they use the word complete, that people will think that their application is complete. I don't know why they can't come up with different words like so far so good, or, you've completed up to these steps, stay tuned. No, they just said they are just going to confuse people and say not complete. So people are literally like pulling their hair out trying to upload over and over again and then calling us and saying it's broken. It's not broken. Once you've uploaded everything and it shows that it is uploaded, then close your screen, you're done. Unless you're trying, if it's red, a lot of times the file is too big or you're uploading the wrong document in the wrong box.
Hi, Gina. My name is Kim, and I heard that you said that the gig economy is eligible, but we rent the upstairs of our house to international students and went to like 3 international students when they come in. But when COVID hit, all the borders shut down and the schools went to like online. So like we have all those empty spaces. Are we still eligible even though our business is in our home?
So if your business is in your home, it's still, I would try anyways. It's still a physical location. I'm not quite sure how that is for like Airbnb companies. And that would be definitely something that you would call Lendistry and talk to them about, because it's kind of in this weird area. You could say, I use this space as, it's kind of like an Airbnb. You would have to have some tax documents too to show this, but I would definitely call them for that, because that one's a little bit of a gray area and I wish I could help you a little bit more on that. And I really haven't heard anything about people who do that kind of stuff. It's not technically an Airbnb, but it's very similar, and they don't have a physical location, but they're losing tons of money. I know that, I used to have a really nice house in East Sacramento, and I rented most of my house, subletted most of my house out to Airbnb, and it was pretty much paid my whole rent. So, so that's significant income. So I would definitely give them a call, and the whole time right now is actually really good. It's like 20 to 25 minutes. It sounds long, but it's better than it was before. And they stopped taking calls at 5. The call center is open till 7, but there's a hard stop at 5 based on the fact that they're using 2 hours to call people back that they weren't able to get to. So I wish I could be more help, but that one is a little bit of a gray area. And so I would definitely reach out to them and see if that's okay.
Okay, and then do I find their number just online? Do I just Google it?
Yeah, it's just go to the Lendistry website, and I can give you their 800 number. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick, and I will give you the emails and the email address to email them, though I advise you to call them. Just one second, let me pull that up. One moment.
And by the way, you're a really good presenter. I love the slideshow. It wasn't boring at all.
Oh, good. I think I'm a too fast presenter, but I'm working on it. Okay. Thank you.
No, it's lively. You keep it lively. You keep it lively and not like
lively. Thank you. I'm looking. I've sent so many emails and each one is different. And I'm looking in like an email just to cheat a little bit. Okay, so the Lendistry text team call center, and I would call that number because it's the easiest to get through, is 888-612-4370. And the issues is CA Relief Grant at lendistry.com is their email. And I'm going to put in the chat the actual link that we use, and I'm going to actually copy and paste this to you because this is what I've been sending out to all of my clients. And there's actually a specific, link just for, just for nonprofits as well. And there's also some information in this email that's about EIDL. The EIDL is still open. There's a California Rebuilding Fund. Why aren't we pasting?
While you're looking, could you repeat that website? CA Relief Grant at what?
So the email is careliefgrant@lendistry.com. And I'm, for some reason, cannot put this in there. Hold on.
Gina, can I make a quick comment about the process?
Yes.
I submit the application, and right here, I noticed, Debbie, you said it says don't upload until requested, but your request wasn't received. It will take about 2 days to receive an email that will request you to upload your documents. That's how long it took me.
Okay, this is not working. I'm going to send this to you guys, and then you guys can try to post it, because for some reason it's not letting me post. So you
And
can,
I just posted the phone number, the call center phone number that Gina gave us, and the email in the chat. So
I'm going to send you just kind of this thing that I sent to everybody. And I think I may have sent this to you anyways, Haley. And it's basically like my recent information to,
okay, perfect.
yeah, but it just came to you. And I, for some reason cannot paste it into the chat, but I just sent it to you right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything's taking really a long time. People are wanting immediate, and it's not. Everything's taking a couple days. Also, another thing is if you are not being able to get in with your login and password, what's happening is a lot of people are going and typing in lendistry.com and then trying to use the credentials that are inside the email that they sent, and that's actually not working. For authentication purposes, they are asking for you to go through the link that they sent you with your password. So you're supposed to actually follow it through your email and go try to log in, instead of like typing in Lendistry and then copying and pasting your username and password. You actually need to use that link that they sent you to continue your application and to be able to log in with your new credentials. Other people have been getting like their credentials aren't working. I've actually had people reset, and that's worked as well. And then a lot of people are not working. And the reason it is not working is because people have applied multiple times. So they have multiple passwords and logins. So it's creating a little bit of a conundrum. You could try to log in basically from the links and follow them in, but it's broken. So if you cannot get in, I'm telling people just to call Lendistry and see if they can fix it for you, because the people who are experiencing the problems are the ones who a lot of them, not everyone, but a lot of them are the ones that have multiple applications in, because the site kept breaking. So it's not their fault. They kept going, okay, well, let me try again. And so it created multiple stuff, and it kind of messed up their process. So if you're experiencing that, I really recommend you trying to contact tech support.
Let me post that here too. So then everything that Gina just sent me, I will also include in the follow-up email to you guys, okay?
Gina, I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk more about the uses of funds? I understand about funding things related to, PPE and things related to COVID coming back, but it's more about losing the business for our nonprofit during what services we could provide. And so paying payroll isn't really due to COVID. It's what we still can do in spite of COVID.
Yeah. So basically it just depends on everyone else. I think that they're just not wanting people to use it for personal expenses or whatever. So I think that their rules are strict, but I don't think they're that strict. And what I tell my clients all the time is, okay, let's say you get $5,000 and you can't use it. I mean, this goes for PPP, this goes for EIDL. These go for any type of government grant that has restricted funds. And ideally, what they try to get people to say is, okay, it's basically freeing up your cash. It's freeing up your cash flow so you can either help keep your business or expand your business. And so what they say is the money that you did have, you can use that for the other things that are not okay with the SBA, and then use this money, you know what I mean? So you're kind of juggling your money. And if you look at it in that way, it kind of gives you a clearer picture, is that maybe you can't use these funds, but you could use your other funds, and this frees it up for working capital. And so that's like the best way that I can explain it. It is to help people get, so you can pay for, I mean, I think you can pay for a lot of things with this. Is there a specific thing that you're concerned about as far as like what you can't
Okay.
use the funds for?
Okay, so I guess you're in saying working capital, you mean that we could use it for paying for our expenses while we
Yes.
try to stay in
Yes.
business every month. Okay. Okay, thank you. That makes sense.
All right, any last questions? And as always, Gina posted her email here, the advisor at ginalujan.com, and I will include that again in that follow-up email so you can reach out. Thank you so much, Gina. That's a ton of information, and finance just makes my eyes go like blurry and I back up slowly. So I could not handle any of those questions. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm gonna kind of start doing these regularly, because it kind of helps people answer questions. So I'll circle back with you and see what we can schedule moving forward. But the PPP, the second round of PPP is going to be opening up. We still have idle. There's the California rebuilding loans as well that are doing pretty good. And I'm suspecting, and we're all suspecting, that there's going to be more opportunities rolling out throughout the year, especially this first quarter and first half a year, because right now California is really focusing on rebuilding, and so is the federal government. And now that we have a new administration, I really think that there's going to be way more opportunities. So as those things come in and as I get more news, I will definitely send it to the chamber and to the city, so you guys have that information.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks a
luck.
lot.
So Diane, do you have any updates? I know everyone kind of starting to log off, but if you have any chamber updates for people, and you are muted in our most infamous saying.
Okay,
There you
sorry
go.
about that. Yes. Yes, Tuesday, our lunch, it's going to be on HR laws regarding COVID-19 2021. So it's going to be very important that you attend. Anybody who has more than 3, actually I was saying 4, but OSHA says 3 or more employees, you need to find out what the new regulations are. So Haley, can you send me everybody's email and I could go ahead and send them all the link?
Yeah, of course.
Tuesday's meeting, okay? Perfect. Thank you. That's all I have for now.
All right. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you're able to get some useful information out of that. I will be sending a follow-up email, and depending on how long it takes my computer to render the Zoom meeting, I will send out the link for our video today or Monday. So you will hear from me shortly. Thank you again so much, and I will see you guys another time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.